I stood there, frozen, as his lips brushed against my wife's neck. The moment unfolded like a slow-motion wreck, surreal and devastating. My thoughts scrambled, unable to fully grasp the betrayal unraveling in front of me. Elaine, my partner for a decade, was leaning into him, eyes half-lidded, smiling in a way I hadn't seen aimed at me in years. The man was tall, broad-shouldered, exuding an arrogant confidence as if she belonged to him. His kiss wasn't tentative, it was possessive. I'd come home ahead of schedule, hoping to surprise her. A project at work had been delayed, and I thought we might enjoy a night together, maybe even reignite the spark that had dimmed over time. Instead, I stumbled upon this scene. My first reaction was to barge in, to confront them, to demand the truth. But something held me back. Maybe it was the shock, or perhaps a deeper, colder fury settling in my chest. Quietly, I stepped away, careful not to make a sound, and returned to my car. There, gripping the steering wheel, I felt my knuckles turn pale. My heart wasn't breaking, it was hardening, thudding with icy resolve. I wouldn't do anything rash. No, I'd be calculated. I'd take my time, be thorough, and ensure they'd never forget what was coming. Over the next few days, I played my part as the unsuspecting husband. I smiled, kissed Elaine goodnight, even complimented the new scent she wore, no doubt chosen to entice him. But inside, I was far from calm. I started digging. One evening, as she showered, I took her phone. I'd known her passcode for years. It didn't take long to find what I was looking for. The texts between her and someone saved under the name Emily weren't subtle. Flirtation, playful exchanges, plans to meet up secretly, and even photos of the two of them together. All the evidence I needed sat right there in black and white. But one message stood out: can't wait for our weekend escape. He'll never suspect a thing. Turns out they were planning to spend the weekend at a cabin by the lake, a place Elaine and I had once gone together. The insult stung, but it also opened a door. If they were chasing a romantic retreat, I'd make sure it was unforgettable. On Friday, I kissed Elaine goodbye as she wheeled her suitcase out the door. "Work's going to be hectic this weekend," she said, lying so smoothly it turned my stomach. I watched her drive off, then grabbed my own bag and headed out, in what she thought was the opposite direction. By the time they reached the cabin, I was already there, hidden among the thick trees that surrounded the property. I spent the day getting everything ready. Its remote location played perfectly into my hands. No neighbors. No help. No interruptions. That evening, I watched them through the windows as they settled in. They cooked dinner side by side, laughing, sneaking kisses, oblivious to the storm gathering around them. My fingers twitched with anticipation, but I held off. The timing had to be just right. Night fell. Then I made my move. The power died suddenly, courtesy of the fuse box I had tampered with earlier. The cabin went completely dark. I heard their panicked voices, scrambling to find the light source. That's when I began the sounds, soft rustles in the distance, subtle knocks at the walls. Just enough to raise goosebumps. I let their fear simmer, watching as the man's bravado began to slip, his voice shaking slightly. Elaine clutched him tightly, all her earlier confidence gone. Then, I struck. The front door slammed open. I stepped inside, flashlight casting a beam across my face. "Evening," I said, calm, but with a menace that made them freeze. "Hope I'm not intruding." Elaine went pale. "Elliot, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I just thought I'd check out this beautiful cabin," I replied, letting the sarcasm drip. I turned my eyes on her lover, who was rigid with fear, gripping a fireplace poker like a lifeline. "And you must be Emily." He didn't speak. Just stood there, eyes darting around like a trapped animal. "Relax," I said, stepping in. "I'm not here to cause any physical harm." I dropped a folder on the table. Inside, you'll find copies of every message, photo, and email. Amazing what you can dig up when you try. And don't worry, Elaine, I've already sent a set to your boss. I'm sure your coworkers will appreciate knowing what you've been up to. Elaine's hand flew to her mouth. You wouldn't. Oh, but I did, I answered, a cold grin spreading. And that's just the appetizer. Turning to the other man, I continued, I did some research on you too. Imagine my surprise when I came across those discrepancies in your company's accounts. You really should have been more careful. I think the authorities will be very interested in your weekend activities. He turned ghostly white. You can't prove anything. Can I? I shot back. Check your email. You'll find everything you need in there. Consider it a farewell gift. Elaine broke down in tears, begging me to stop, to reconsider. But I felt nothing but a chilling satisfaction. You made your choices, I told her, voice unwavering. Now live with the consequences. And with that, I turned and walked out. Left them with their broken evening and shattered illusions. Outside, the crisp night air hit my face like a bomb. I hadn't laid a finger on them, yet I'd taken everything. And it felt even better than I'd imagined. In the weeks that followed, I filed for divorce and made sure Elaine walked away with the bare minimum. Her lover? He skipped town, trying to stay ahead of legal trouble. As for me, I moved forward, head high, conscience clear, and oddly at peace. They say revenge is best served cold. Mine had been delivered with precision. And as I began to rebuild my life, I did so knowing one simple truth: sometimes, the sweetest form of justice comes with a smile.